Hey Rabbits, it's Trixie, and today I want to give you my opinion on how beautiful of a language I consider German. German is my mother tongue, so this is the impression of a native speaker. Which doesn't automatically mean that many people, or particularly Germans, share this opinion. So if you feel differently, please don't take this video as an offense. Instead, you should write a comment and state your point of view, naming the reasons for it. I may be wrong with my observations, since I'm not a language expert, but enough with the apologies and warnings. Let's get started with the video, shall we? First of all, I like the German language, but I don't love it. I think there are more beautiful languages in this world. To me, a language is beautiful when it has an uncanny melody and rhythm. When listening to it evokes a certain feeling and culture association inside of you. Also, when the grammar follows characteristic but not too complicated rules. Having some secret individual exceptions here and there, but not too many. And when you're able to express yourself in a comfortable way with it. Not only concerning daily life conversations, but also different art forms, such as writing and singing. So let's take this very subjective definition and talk about German. So far, I've come in mentionable touch with English, French, Spanish, and Swedish as foreign languages. And what I can say is that all of them appear to have their own melody, while German kinda hasn't. At least it's not so obvious to me. I'm aware that all of these languages can have different sorts of dialects, but generally I think that German has the least of a rhythm in it. Maybe that is because I'm a native speaker and I simply don't hear it, but that's the impression I have. You know, French is like, je ne sais pas ce que je voudrais faire. Je. Hear the melody? That's not a language, it's a song. Or Swedish. Hey, jag rädd! Jag gillar kanina. Another very characteristic melody, this sophisticated loveliness. Hey, jag. And then there's German. Ich möchte ja niemandem zu nahe treten, aber ich höre da nichts Vergleichbares. Way too many breaks between the words, no ups or downs. While the other two languages sound like songs, the German language sounds like a Morse code. Which is not necessarily a negative thing. Due to the missing melody, German sounds really scientific, serious, neutral, and kinda smart. It's a good language to debate with, but I'll come back to that later. Also, as a hobby writer, I use language as a medium to transport creative thoughts onto paper. It highly depends on the wording, whether an idea becomes something magical and touches a reader's soul, or is just one out of many replaceable sentences. Different terms, the length or the order of a sentence are really important aspects to be considered, and your decision can change the whole impression that the reader gets. So of course I'm really interested in a language that offers many stylistic possibilities to express myself. And yeah, you can write a book in German, but I kind of feel that it is way less complicated to do the same thing in English. In my opinion, English is more writer-friendly. It seems simpler to me to make something sound good. Let me give you a little example. I love your smile, she said, feeling her heartbeat speed up. If you would like to write the exact same sentence in German, it would be like, Ich liebe dein Lächeln, sagte sie, ihren Herzschlag sich beschleunigen fühlend. Ihren Herzschlag sich beschleunigen fühlend? I'm not even sure if that's correct. But do you know what I'm sure about? That this sentence doesn't sound good. However, no German author would actually write it that way. They would put it another way, like Ich liebe dein Lächeln, sagte sie und spürte, wie ihr Herz schneller schlug. I love your smile, she said, and she felt that her heart was beating faster. But you have to make two sentences out of one, combining them with an and in the middle. In other examples, you could maybe use while or when or whatever, but most likely something more complicated and something that needs more words to be expressed. And the more filler words you use, the less of the reader's focus you get. So many easy to do and yet beautiful constructions like the gerund simply don't work the same way as in English. Furthermore, German words are just ugly sometimes. I already regret saying this because I know that many people will disagree, but I really think so. There are many beautiful sounding German words as well, but some others are just so edgy and unromantic. The word lächeln, for example. We already had that in the sentence before. Das Lächeln means the smile. If you say smile, you almost automatically start smiling. Smile.
Smile.
But lächeln? Lächeln. I feel like the more vowels a word has, and especially if it ends with one, the more lovely and soft it sounds. So smile does it right, because a smile should be something warm and soft and positive, right? It's a simple word with emphasis on I, ending softly. Lächeln, on the other hand, has an ä and a ch in it. Letters that most languages don't have and that sound kind of hard. And then it ends with not only one, but 2 consonants. So beautiful. I don't know, is it just me? But I find that a bit weird. He smiled becomes lächelte. Melody-wise, that's like da compared to da. 4 syllables compared to 2. And that's something I notice for many German words and sentences. For my liking, they're too long, too complicated, have too many consonants, and they don't sound like the thing that they describe. Lächelte could as mean, well, he coughed out green slime. In general, German has so many sounds. That's not a melodious language. That's a broken coffee machine. English sounds like you're gliding on the words, but German sounds like you're continuously stumbling. Another thing that is somehow related to the former point I just mentioned is that German is more demanding. Something that sounds good and clever in English may appear dumb and cheap translated to German. I especially noticed that concerning popular songs. Let's just make up a simple indie pop song and see how different it sounds in the 2 languages. My heart broke into pieces when you walked away. When I close my eyes, I can see you smile. Mein Herz zerbrach in Einzelteile, als du weggegangen bist. Wenn ich meine Augen schließe, sehe ich dein Lächeln. So, firstly, German is again way too long. It doesn't fit into a pop song. In English, everything is shorter and it's really easy to find rhymes. I mean, many things rhyme with smile, but try to find a rhyme for lächeln. Good luck. Mecheln, schecheln, secheln, knecheln, hecheln, hecheln.
Ich liebe dein Lächeln, da muss ich fast hecheln.
Secondly, the English pop song sounds okay. Pretty cheesy, I know, but it's a broken-hearted pop song, so what? But in German, it doesn't only sound uncreative and super pathetic, it sounds ridiculous! No one would accept these lyrics and say,
"This is so beautiful. This is so deep."
Maybe for a German Schlager or a Disney princess song, this would be tolerable, but for normal younger generation music, no way. Seriously, most people would just make fun of it. So all in all, German is not the easiest way to express something simple in a beautiful way, neither by writing nor by singing. But my impression is that the more complicated the matter is that you want to describe, the more suitable the German language becomes. Scientific studies, an eerie poem, profound thoughts on the sense of life, satirical comedy or sarcasm work perfectly fine in German. I'd say even better than in English. In these cases, it's somehow good to make the reader stumble, to use edgy expressions, because it challenges the brain in 2 ways, with the language itself and with the difficult content, and that's something I really like. But for easily digestible content, English is definitely more convenient to use. What do you think about the German language? Are you a native German like me? If not, where do you come from and how do you perceive the German language? Which of my points do you agree or disagree with? Anything you want to correct or add? Again, I want to mention that everything I mentioned in this video is my personal opinion. I'm not an expert concerning languages or phonetics. And of course, I didn't mean to just bash the German language. Actually, right now I feel even a bit sorry for mentioning so many negative aspects about the German language, as I in fact really like it. It is definitely worth learning if you are doing so right now. It is different to the other languages, I know, but that also makes it unique and special. It has its edges and flaws and oddities, but that also gives it quite a personality. Anyways, I just wanted to share my thoughts with you, and I'm now really curious about your opinions. So feel free to leave a comment down below, and please leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, because that would make me happy. And if you want to make me even happier and you think my content is worth it, you could also become my patron. I put the link to my Patreon page in the description. Now I wish you all a very beautiful day. Check out my other videos if you'd like to, and see you in the next one. Bye! In general, German has so many... No one thought.